So you're considering relocating to San Antonio? Well, in today's video, we're going to give you an inside look of what working with us looks like.
Yeah, let's check it out. How's it going, everyone? My name's Alyssa.
And my name's Frank.
And we are the River City property team here located in San Antonio, Texas. Now, before we get started, feel free to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell because we'll be putting out new videos each week about living in our beautiful city.
Right, and we're licensed real estate agents here in the state of Texas and a husband and wife team. So you're thinking of relocating to San Antonio, whether that be for work or just looking for a change of scenery, we would love to assist you in any way we can and just be a resource of information for you. So feel free to reach out to us with the information on the screen with a phone call, text, or email, and we would love to help. So jumping right into this video, you're relocating to San Antonio, and I know it's a big move, and you're probably wanting to get in touch with an agent that you know you're gonna work well with, that you're gonna trust, and find an agent who's gonna guide you along the way. So what we wanted to do in this video is take you through the entire process of what it's like working with us from beginning of reaching out to us and all the way to the end of closing day and getting those keys to your brand new home.
So starting with step number one is going to be contacting us. And how can you contact us? Well, there are 3 different ways that you can. And the first one is going to be phone call. Second is going to be text message. And that's going to be to this number that we're going to pop up right here on the screen. And the third way is going to be through email. And we're going to pop up our email address right here on the screen. And Frank and I are the ones who are answering those phone calls, text messages, and emails directly.
So depending on what form of communication you so choose to select in order to get a hold of us, what we want to do is get you on that initial Zoom call. And in order to get you on that Zoom call, what we want to do is send you our Calendly link. And in that link, you'll be able to select a date and time that works best for you in order to have that first conversation with us.
And why we really like to utilize Zoom is because it really gives us that one-on-one with our client, especially if you're not local and we cannot meet, face to face, then Zoom kind of provides us that opportunity to meet, if you will, in person through Zoom and really create that rapport with one another.
Right now, once you get into town, whether you are still looking for a home or once you actually purchased a home, of course, we'll have that coffee meeting. But for right now, it's just that Zoom call, and we can even have coffee over Zoom, so no problem. Now, what happens on this initial Zoom call is the question that you may ask yourself. Well, on that Zoom call, we want to talk about your wants and needs in a home, what actually is bringing you to San Antonio, whether it's family, whether it's job relocation, or like I said in the beginning, you're just looking for a change of scenery. I know prices are all over the place here in the US, and San Antonio is actually ranking high as far as affordability. So maybe it's that. But like I said, we want to talk about your wants and needs. We also want to talk about financing, whether or not you've gotten pre-approved or not, whether it's going to be a national lender or a lender where you currently live at, or if you actually need any recommendations on how to start getting pre-approved for a home.
Yeah, and we can definitely give you those recommendations, especially for local lenders, which we think it's really important and really encouraged to have a local lender, somebody that you can really talk to, one-on-one and even face-to-face sometimes.
So depending on how many videos you've actually seen that we've put out, that we like to work with our local lender, Scott. He's really great. He's really great at communication, which we are really high on. We want to make sure that our clients and our customers have a good experience with communication. It's huge. You're relocating from a different state, so you want to make sure you have someone readily available to talk at any point in time.
Yes, definitely. And like I've said before, just your lender is such a huge part of your transaction. So you definitely want to make sure that you're going with a lender who you have great communication with. So now that we've gotten a feel for the wants and needs that you have in a home, just in general, things that you're looking for in a home, what we want to do next is that we're going to be sharing with you our MLS app. And that app, you can start to search for homes here in San Antonio. Now, majority of it is going to be resale homes.
Right.
There are going to be some new construction homes on there that you will find, but majority is going to be resale. Now, when you go through that list, you can pretty much see a map of San Antonio, right? And you can kind of narrow down the areas that you want to look in, and you can favorite those homes that you like, and then Frank and I on our end will be able to see those and start to be able to do that research for you.
And if mobile devices maybe not for you, which that MLS app is really,
mobile friendly.
Right, mobile friendly. What you could do is access our website, which is going to be rivercitypropertyteam.com. And in that website, you can actually navigate through and select different areas within San Antonio, whether they're going to be smaller cities or even localized into certain neighborhoods. That can be another resource that you can use amongst other resources that you will be available to use once you communicate with us. And as Alyssa mentioned, those tools, whether it be our website or our MLS app, are going to be geared and more favorable towards resale or pre-owned homes, depending on what you want to call them. But if you're a client of ours that is looking for a new construction home, well, that's what we're actually available to do as well. So you want to make sure you get a hold of an agent that is actually in the market daily, that actually knows what the areas of interest are and where these neighborhoods are actually popping up with different home builders.
And the great thing about Frank and I is that we've worked with clients that are not only local, but also from out of town, out of the state, and even out of the country. We're working with clients from Canada and the UK. And so we've really been well versed in, within the city of San Antonio and those new construction communities. Like Frank mentioned earlier, just knowing which ones are popping up and the price points in each of them.
Okay, so now that we've discussed whether or not we want to live in new construction or whether it's going to be a resale home, what we want to talk about next is going to be time frame. So when are you actually relocating to San Antonio? Are you planning on visiting first? Are you reaching out to us within a year in advance, 60 days in advance, or within a month? What we want to do is make sure we capitalize on the time that you're here when you actually come to visit or move here.
Yes, and if you are having to relocate here to San Antonio and you aren't able to visit first, then one thing that Frank and I like to do is we like to do a lot of home tours for you and even FaceTime, just really to try to give you the best experience that you can have for seeing your home without actually being here physically in person to see it.
Right, I know it's a big decision on relocating, and not to mention that you're going to be purchasing something remotely without even having boots on the ground first, right? So we want to make sure that experience and quality is the highest and best it could be, and we'll utilize our drone, we'll utilize video and take you a video of the entrance of the community of your choosing, and make sure we give you the full front and the back portion of that house so you can see and envision everything there is to know about that home.
And one thing I want to note is that if you're coming in town to visit, Frank and I do have a San Antonio local guide that we've created that we do like to give you just to use as a little reference when you're here, just to kind of make the most of your time here. Now, once you've visited San Antonio and you found the home that you love and you want to put an offer in, before we put that offer in, Frank and I will go ahead and do a CMA, or what's called a comparative market analysis. And that's just to ensure that that home that you are wanting to put an offer in is priced correctly. So once we do that and we make sure that everything, looks in order with that home, then we'll go ahead and put that offer in. And if it's a new construction home, then we'll get with that builder's agent to start the process to solidify that home for you.
And this is actually in line with negotiation, right? Just because you found a home and it's priced for either 200, 300, 400,000, whatever it may be, we're just not going to purchase that home for what it costs, right? We're gonna make sure we do our due diligence. We're gonna make sure we do our research on the home, and like Alyssa said, the comparative homes within the area, to make sure that it's priced accurately and you're not spending a little bit more than what you actually have to. What we want to make sure that we do is keep more money in your pocket as much as possible, right? And that's where negotiations comes into play. And even when it comes to new home construction, we want to make sure that we're also getting the highest amount of incentives available to you and make sure they're applied to the home.
Now, once that offer has been submitted and we are under contract, then that's where Frank and I continue to do our due diligence to make sure that this process is as smooth and seamless as possible for you. Now, there's going to be a lot of emails and deadlines and dates flying around, and that's where we come in to make sure that you are staying as organized as possible and that we get all of the documents and things in on time that we need to. That way we make it to the closing table with no problems. And finally, we've made it to closing day. And this is gonna be the fun day, right? This is the day that you are signing all of your paperwork for your new home, and they're gonna be handing you the keys to your brand new home, and you can start moving in. And one thing I do wanna note though is that you don't physically have to be at that closing table. If you are out of town, out of state, even if you're local and you're just at work and you can't, get to that closing table, there's a ton of mobile notaries that are available, so you can really close on your new home from wherever you are.
So there you have it, guys. That's what it's like working with Alyssa and I from the beginning to end. From getting in contact with us on our Zoom and all the way to getting those keys to your brand new home. This is what it's like. We want to make sure that your experience you have is going to be high quality and top notch. Of course, we're going to have some fun along the way. We're going to have some jokes. We want to make sure that it's easy on you guys because it's going to be very stressful, right? You're relocating from another state or another country, and we want to make sure you're having fun and let that stress be put on our shoulders, not on you guys. So with that said, we would love to assist you with all of your real estate needs. So whether you're considering relocating to San Antonio in 60 days, 90 days, or even in a year, feel free to reach out to us with the information on the screen with a phone call, text, or email, and we would love to help. We hope you enjoyed this video. We hope you have a good weekend, and we'll see you guys on the next video.